We continue with Tigers Roar. Remind you, it's a Wednesday night program, 2 full hours, 8 to 10 p.m. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a rebroadcast going, but we appreciate you being tuned in. Whether it's on Wednesdays for Tigers Roar or you're spreading the roar on another night. Continuing to talk about the Georgia Bulldog football team. Here's Coach Miles and some players talking about the Georgia defense, which has been pretty darn good, especially in the last half of the season.
Defensively, they're very quality defense. They're allowing 17.8 points, 270 yards a game. And again, they have not given up big points since their second week of the season, allowing only 20 points one time to Vanderbilt.
You know, it's a tremendous challenge for us. We anytime a team focuses on stopping the run, you know, we're going to try to make them take it. So that's really all we can do. And with a team as good as Georgia, that's going to be tough. They're big up front with fast linebackers, and they've got a good defensive scheme. So that'll be a big challenge for us on Saturday.
Yeah, they have great defense. They got great players over there that flies to the ball and make plays. You know, we got to do a great job executing the little things right. You know, not turning the ball over like we did last week, and not getting ourselves behind.
All season long here on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports Radio, pretty much anywhere you went, there's been talk of the LSU special teams and the role that they've played, the factor that they have been really from the Oregon game forward through all 12 games. Georgia, pretty spiffy on the special teams as well. Here's some comments from Coach Miles and some audio from Coach Mark Richt about the Georgia special teams.
They're a very talented group, a lot of very quality players, and their special teams is a very, very good special teams unit. They're a wonderful kicker in Blair Walsh, an outstanding punter in Drew Butler, very dangerous return man in Brandon Boykin.
Well, you know, those guys decided to stick around for their senior year. I mean, just their decision to stay was big. You know, Boykin and Ben Jones and Cordy Glenn and, you know, guys like that, you know, they had an opportunity to, they knew they were going to be NFL ball players, at least have a shot at that. But they chose to stay, and they wanted to have a special season. And, you know, so first of all, just the fact that they stayed was big. And then in the off season, you know, they had to make a decision. You know, when they made the decision to stay at Georgia, they also made a decision they were going to buy into everything we were doing in the off season and get everybody else to make sure they were buying in too. And I thought they did a super job of that. And because of the unity of the team and the work ethic of the team and what we built during camp, when we did go 0-2, we were still a strong bunch of guys. You know, we weren't by any means in any kind of a panic mode or a finger pointing mode. I mean, they just kept working hard. They kept everybody focused and kept everybody working, and they're a big part of the reason why we were able to weather the storm and start winning.
As we look at a graphic with the records of LSU and Georgia, Chris, I'll ask you a question that came to us via email and a radio show, and we may have some Georgia fans watching on the internet tonight, but let's flip the coin here a little bit. We always ask you what are the keys for an LSU win. We do it radio, TV. Let's put the other hat on. What are the keys for Georgia to win this game on Saturday?
Well, I think let's start offensively. I think it seems like a cliche when we say it, but it really is important here. They've got to have good balance. They've got to be able to run the football to allow themselves to throw it and make some big plays. So that's certainly the key there. And it's going to start up front, their ability to handle the pressure, the rush pressure from LSU. And if they're able to run the football, that can slow down some of the pressure. But a good balance on offense is going to be pivotal for 4 quarters. Defensively, I think they're going to have to figure out a way to stop the run. Even if they have to sell out to stop the run, they have to do it. They've got to make LSU beat them with the passing game and hope that they can respond and prevent enough big plays in LSU's passing game when they overload the front. And then I think what's really important, they've got to win the field position battle with their special teams. And certainly with Drew Butler and Blair Walsh, they've got, I think, two good punters and kickers that one of the few teams that could match or come close to matching LSU. But they've got to win field position, and I think find a way on defense to force some turnovers. If they can get a couple of turnovers in the kicking game or on defense, like the one here, that's going to be pivotal. Now, this is against Auburn, and it really started to turn the game around for them. This is what they need. They're going to need a boost. I don't think their best effort in all three phases of the game is good enough to beat LSU. So they're going to have to force some mistakes by LSU, get LSU out of rhythm, and if they can do that, who knows, maybe they could have the type of rhythm and pace that Arkansas jumped out on LSU and keep it for longer and perhaps pull the upset.
Well, more than one team, not just Arkansas, has, kind of threw a punch at LSU, but clearly in the second half, or sometimes it even started in the second quarter, separation. And I heard Mark Richt on another interview that I listened where he said, LSU's just had a habit of wearing some people down this year. And fourth quarter, other teams are crying uncle. That's the exact word that he used.
Well, and listen, the one just probably the most balanced team that LSU's played this year. It's not the best team they've played. Alabama is, but this team is really balanced. This Georgia team, offensively, they can run it. They've got pretty good offensive line play. They've got Tavares King, Orson Charles in the passing game, receiver and tight end. They can run the football. We went over their backs. Defensively, they play a 30 front. Jarvis Jones is a good pass rushing outside backer. Their secondary solid. So they've got a lot of elements. I don't think they're as talented as LSU. As a result, in fact, I know they're not as talented, but can they have that magical game playing in Georgia? And that's what they have to do. They have to find a way to make some explosive plays, and I think it's going to have to come with some big plays on defense to bait LSU into some mistakes. If that can happen in defense and special teams, maybe they've got a shot.
Don't forget, right after that LSU-Georgia football game, right here on Pelican Sports TV and on WJBO Radio, 1150 a.m. on your radio dial in Baton Rouge or WJBO.com, we will have the WJBO Pelican Sports TV Phones First postgame show. Right after the game, taking your calls. We'll have stats. We'll have everything you need to know about the LSU-Georgia game on the WJBO Pelican Sports TV Phones First postgame show immediately following the game on Saturday, probably about 6:45, give or take a few minutes. But when that game clock says 0-0-0, give us 4, 5, or 6 minutes, and we'll be coming at you with a 2-hour post-game show. When we come back, we'll be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Spread the roar about Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Tynan, Miss Louisiana Team USA 2011.
And I'm Paige Pennick, Miss Louisiana USA 2011.
And you're watching Pelican Sports TV.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
The family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr. and our highly trained staff are dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages in all aspects of dental care. 23 years of experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Fruget to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation, because we know how to make you smile.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com has been extremely beneficial for the TM Automotive Group. And what stands out to us, it's easy to use, not only for us, but it's easy for the applicants. And it's the quality of applicants that we get. It's timely. We post something in the morning. By that afternoon, we have double-digit applicants. And again, it's the quality of the applicants.
Employers, now is a great time to hire, recruit, and look for potential new employees.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and great for business.
Total Occupational Medicine has been treating injured workers and providing drug tests and employment physicals in our community with a staff of certified professionals for over 20 years. Conveniently located at 3333 Drusilla Lane at I-12, Total Occupational Medicine can assess your needs and present a plan to get your injured workers back to work as soon as medically appropriate. Call Jim Bollinger or Dennis Taylor at 924-4460 to put the experienced team at Total Occupational Medicine to work for you today. That's 924-4460.
We continue with Tigers Roar, a whole nother hour with NFL scout, Fox Sports football analyst Chris Landry, and me, Tommy Krysan. Right now, as we do just about each and every week, we are joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Brian. How are you?
Good. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing well. First up, Brian, we'll get into the injury category. Everyone knows Eric Reed did not play against Arkansas, although he was dressed out. What's the very latest here on Wednesday night about Eric Reed?
Well, when Les Miles met with the members of the media after practice this evening, he said that Reed went through all the practice today, thought he ran pretty good, but he stopped short of saying that Reed would definitely, play on Saturday. He wouldn't come out and say that he'll definitely go. He said Alfred Blue, who sat out the Arkansas game, is fine. He's practiced. He looks like he will be able to play. Terrence McGee, who has some type of leg injury, he says he's pretty much doubtful. And that's the reason why Hilliard got so many carries at tailback last week, because they were down Blue and down McGee. So he was the number 3 tailback in the game against Arkansas. Anything else on the injury front? I know Brockers, bruised a knee last week? Right, and it seemed, from what everybody is saying, he's fine and should be able to play.
What else did Coach Miles have to say after practice today?
Well, again, he said the work for the week is just about done, and he's liked how the team is prepared. He spent a lot of time, there was a report out this afternoon that Jarrett Lee and other players were in some academic problems and, may not play. And he, obviously said, he was pretty upset about that. He said there's nothing to that. And Joe Oliva, you probably know, put out a statement.
Yeah, I read the statement.
In the afternoon. I mean, players can't be ruled ineligible till the end of the semester, and the semester exams haven't even begun yet. And now, as far as for players to be eligible for a bowl game, they have to pass 6 hours during the fall in order to be eligible for a bowl game. But, none of that's going to be known. Like I said, exams at LSU are next week.
Yeah. All right, Brian, what do you expect Saturday afternoon in the Georgia Dome out of LSU?
Well, I think that, LSU is going to play like they have all year. Somebody asked me how are the players, and I said, well, they're on the same even keel they've been all year. I don't think you're going to see an LSU team who's going to approach this game, people are saying even if we lose, we're in the national championship game. I think that these have got a lot of guys who want to win SEC title first. So I think that you're going to see an inspired effort from LSU. Georgia's pretty good defensively. I'm not sure, if Georgia is going to run the football that well against LSU. Isaiah Crowell has been, he's been hurt a lot of the times. He's practiced all week. He's expected to go against LSU. And again, if Georgia can't run the ball and it's just going to be Aaron Murray throwing it, I don't think that that will be a good recipe for a Georgia upset.
Brian, tell the folks what they can expect when they go to TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com, 7-day free trial all the time. Obviously, lots of coverage of this week's SEC championship game, coverage of recruiting. We're starting to get into the home stretch. Signing day is 2 months away. LSU's got about 5 spots open, so it'll be very interesting to see who claims those 5 spots.
Okay, Brian Lazar, enjoy your trip to Atlanta. We'll speak to you during the post-game show from Atlanta.
Okay, talk to you Saturday.
All right, Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Signing day is February 1st, so 2 months from tomorrow, they're inking another class.
Yeah, and they're almost full in that regard as well. You know, a couple other one other thing I'd like to mention is, you know, we get this a lot. Well, the game doesn't matter this weekend. An SEC championship is this far beneath a national championship in terms of importance. I can't think of anything more insulting to the players and coaches than to say that this game doesn't mean anything. Perhaps if they lose the game, could they still be in the national championship game? That was the first segment, top of the show if you missed it. Yes, they would be. But that's, you know, winning an SEC championship is really important to this team.
It's a big skin to put on the wall.
Absolutely.
Let's get some comments from Coach Miles and the players about this LSU team this season, some of the off-the-field adversity, and the fact that they're 12-0, and as we've mentioned, no LSU football team has ever been 12-0. Here are those comments.
I mean, we have faced a lot, and Coach Miles, he have done an excellent job with not letting that distract this team, and his team have done a good job of not letting distract us. Because like I said, we know where we want to be, and that's a championship, and we can't let those things get to us if we're trying to win a championship.
I think he's done an amazing job. We had some issues this year off the field, like he was saying, and he just told us not to let that beat us. And he said sometimes people can let that get to them and they fall or succumb to it, but if we wanted to win a national championship, we had to put all those things aside and just focus on football.
We've used those, those hurdles as, a driving factor just to finish out the season, and guys have really bought into that for the most part.
Where there's struggle, there's strength, and I think our team did a good job of that. When I got suspended and, when Jordan and Russell was suspended, I think our team came closer, and I think that helped us leading up to this point. Well, we just go out there and just try to play hard for each other. We don't really focus on the outside voices. We just try to go out there and just leave it on the line for those guys in the locker room. I think a lot of those guys support each other. We share the same lives, so being there for each other, is a key role.
I would say it's great because it's the first time I ever been a part of something as big as this. And, everybody else is a great thing because I don't think there's too many guys in there that's been a part of it before. So, we just cherishing the moment right now.
It means something amazing. I've never won a championship in my life before in high school or in middle school, so this will be a first for me. I love the opportunity. It set us up for leaving a great legacy here at LSU as a new young team with a great focus.
I've never been a part of any team at any level and be undefeated, so it's an exciting feeling, and you kind of learn to hate the feeling to lose, so we go into every game wanting to win.
Chris Landry, I first heard of Jordan Jefferson when he was playing high school football down there at Destrehan, and of course led his team to a state title, a 15-0 season. Ever since Jordan Jefferson has gotten to LSU, there have been a lot of stories about Jordan Jefferson, but perhaps none more, not more stories and more stories you didn't see coming than since the, mid to latter part of August to now, both off the field since then and on the field. Lots of stories, almost a book could be written on Jordan Jefferson. I want to get some comments from Coach Miles and the players about the improvement and the leadership of Jordan Jefferson, and then we'll get your evaluation. Here are those comments now.
Well, he's improved really in the execution of the offense, really from A to Z. He throws the ball so much better. To be honest with you, we've not really been in a game where we needed to throw the football as repeatedly as we're capable. And we're looking forward to that at some point in time because he can really throw it, and we're very capable in the receiving end as well. But he's executing our run offense and handling the functionality of the offense. In other words, the stem, the motion, cadences. Gives us great leadership. He's tougher than many men that I've been around. Just physically tough, mentally tough, and so he's given us a lot, and and we certainly have enjoyed him.
He's making better decisions. He had one interception this past game. He was trying to make a play, but he's making a lot of plays going into
this SEC game, and we're happy for him. To me, I think Jordan always had that confidence in that role. It's just he had that setback, and he had to get his groove back, and once he got it, he just took over.
Well, I think that's due to the change we did on offense. Coach Craddock came in and did a great job changing the offense around. We were more aggressive, and they were doing a much better job making plays out there for him, and it makes it easier out there as a quarterback when you got the receivers out there catching every ball that he's throwing.
His escapability has went up tremendously, and he really doesn't give up on the play. And his relationship with his receivers is also growing. They come back now. They make more plays. They'll run extra little routes to get open. They won't stop with the play, nor will Jordan. So I think that his relationship with everybody on the offense is growing. So his mutual respect from everybody is growing. I think that's all they need to do on offense was a click, for everybody to understand, everybody to be on the same accord.
A lot of that's could be accredited to Jarrett Lee, and that's just pure competition. I think Jordan finally realized that the spot wasn't his no matter what, and it made him work that much harder. And having Jarrett there to push him, and even for Jarrett to get us this far, it's great to have both those guys back there. And like I've said 100 times before, we don't care who's back there. We just want to win.
As we take a look at some of the statistics on Jordan Jefferson, Chris, what you do at a lot of your time is evaluate football players, evaluate talent. Your evaluation of Jordan Jefferson?
Well, I think he has gotten a lot better. I think he's shown a much better comfort level. I think what it's really done for the offense as a whole is allowed for some zone read, some not just downhill running, but a really good job with getting defenses spread out for the running game. And that's just made the passing game more effective because you've got to really overplay the run when you play LSU. And I think he's done a better job because it's created good spacing and coverage where he's been effective and brought the play-action passing game in off the zone read, as well as some of the option stuff. They like to run 10 to 12 option plays a game. It really makes defenses work on it. But they can continue to throw the football as well as they have with him. This certainly gives their offense, I think, a different dimension. I look at the offense from, say, the time of the Alabama game to the past couple of weeks has gotten better. I think not in small part either. I think they've got quite a bit better, and that is where I think the difference is, and what could be the difference going forward is their ability to make some explosive plays when they need to and stay out of difficult down and distance situations because they've got more versatility and balance to their offense now.
Chris, you're an NFL scout. This question actually came in on the post-game show last week, and I want to say even also the week before that. Your evaluation of Jordan Jefferson as a prospect, is he a prospect? Can he play in the NFL?
He's got marginal ability, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. He doesn't throw the football well enough to play at the next level. Can we get him into camp? Can he be a late-round pick? Absolutely. He's a good athlete. I think he'll work. I think he's been through a lot, some things that he's done himself, but he's learned from. But I think that, he's got very, very marginal, limited ability to play at the next level, but certainly would love to give him a chance and see if he can't maybe stick in the developmental squad for a year or two.
And speaking of the LSU offense, the running backs have been a key part of this football team. The depth at running back maybe is unparalleled in the country and maybe unparalleled in a long time in a lot of places. Here are some comments by Coach Miles, some audio from Coach Mark Richt, players about the running backs at LSU.
Well, we're fortunate to have, again, a very deep position there, and we use them. And you'll watch Spencer Ware take the first snap, and depending on how he's doing, he'll take a lot of snaps. And the opportunity for us to get Michael Ford in there because of speed and strength and maturity is something that we do virtually about in that order. And Kenny Hilliard is a big back with good feet and capable hands, and certainly Alfred Blue, in my opinion, much more ready to play in this game. Will also get into that rotation. So, we look at it as a very strong weapon to possess the ball, to move the ball and score, and the opportunity to play guys that are ready to go onto the field, understand the need of their team, and to give us fresh legs and more yards after contact. That's our view. But in any team, no matter what offense you run, you must be able to run the football to control the game.
Oh, it's a great thing. When Coach Williams first got here, he said he wanted to start, the great backs coming back. He's shown it. Everybody is a great back in there. We take that responsibility, each and every one of us, to go out there and play a great game.
Right, and that's something we preach here. Coach Gonzalez takes pride in our blocking downfield. You can't have a big play without the receivers downfield blocking. So that's something we take pride in and get those chains moving.
I don't know so much that it's just the running game as it is an attitude, and that's we're a physical team. We're going to come out and we're going to hit you in the mouth and keep hitting you in the mouth and keep hitting you in the mouth, and whether you want to give us your best shot or not, we're going to keep doing that. And that's just the mentality that we have on offense, defense, and special teams. So you could call this team a fighting team, and that's the persona that we all like to take on.
Well, they do have a bunch of physical backs, and to run the power play, which they do love to run so much, you want a physical back to do that. But they're blocking great up front. Their linemen do a super job. They're pulling a backside guard on that play. They've got a lead blocker, and their fullback, who's just a beast, and so it's just it's a very they're very well equipped to run the football and to run it in such a way that they're just they wear you down as the game goes on, from what I've seen.
Perfect time to tell you about the Bryson Law Firm Tiger Stat of the Week. Kerry Bryson and his staff do a great job. If you have any IRS issue, anything going on, your tax resolution, call the Bryson Law Firm in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, or New Orleans. You see the numbers on your screen, or go to brysonlawfirm.com. Your first visit is free, and then when they find out what your situation is, you may not need them, and they'll tell you that. If you do need them, they'll tell you a flat fee. You'll know what it's going to cost you. The Bryson Law Firm Tiger Stat of the Week. LSU has 4 running backs with at least 6 rushing touchdowns, and that's the first time in school history. Obviously, Ware, Ford, Blue, and Hilliard with the touchdowns in that category. Again, brought to you by the Bryson Law Firm, brysonlawfirm.com, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans. Chris, have you ever seen such a stable of talented running backs? In so many ways, they have some of the same characteristics, but then each one of them also brings a different card to the game.
Well, it's certainly good backs. I mean, I think it's used to be prevalent back in the pre-85 scholarship limit. You'd have a lot of the big-time programs would have 10 or 12 of them like that. I mean, and now you certainly can't have quite that. But no, I think that with these, the downhill running scheme, you can use a lot of backs and more of a zone blocking scheme, which LSU runs some of. But in more of a zone blocking system, you want to have one back that you can develop that rhythm and chemistry with, because it is a lot of timing and rhythm based. But this is they do a really good job with getting and alternating backs. That they're all very similar in some ways. They all have some different skill sets, but yet they all run downhill, run hard, run physical, got some good quickness. And those are qualities that you can just basically interchange them. And the end result is that you have fresh legs pretty much at any point in time during a game and during the season. And that's tough for defenses that are not so fresh or having to face.
We still got plenty to come for you on tonight's program. We'll get into some team goals and what a loss to Georgia might be. Chris went over that at length at the beginning of the program with the BCS. We still got a few things for you. We'll also still have the weekly run through the LSU Athletic Department. We'll hear from Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts TV and Sports Shorts Radio, and a whole lot more. Stay with us. You're watching Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans right here on Pelican Sports TV.
One of the key attributes that really puts Papa John's Pizza over the top is our meats. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
For just $11, get our new double-layered premium pepperoni pizza, loaded with a layer of our signature pepperoni, plus a layer of oversized deli-style pepperoni. Just $11 for a large. Plus, get double points all weekend long and earn free pizza fast with Papa Rewards, only at papajohns.com. Sign up now.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hi, I'm Kimberlyn Duncan from the 2011 track and field team, and you are watching Pelican Sports TV.
Explore the charms of the North Shore and visit St. Tammany Parish. Whether you're looking for a cultural experience or an adventure, you'll find it here. Enjoy great attractions and fantastic dining in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere.
Come visit us and discover the history and heritage that is Louisiana's North Shore.
For more information, log on to louisiananorthshore.com/bb.
Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson. My law firm focuses specifically on helping people try to solve their IRS tax problems. Lately, so many new out-of-state companies are popping up claiming that if you send them money, they can resolve your IRS problems. Well, what happens if they don't? Do you hire an attorney? Maybe you should start with a local attorney that's already handled hundreds of IRS cases right here in Louisiana. When you hire the Bryson Law Firm, you won't be speaking long distance or sending money to some out-of-town high-pressure salesman. You'll meet with us in person at our office right here in Baton Rouge. Your first visit is completely free and confidential, and we'll tell you on the spot exactly how much it'll cost. So if you're hiring a company to resolve your IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, check their reputation first, then call me, Kerry Bryson, or go to brysonlawfirm.com. If you're a Louisiana resident and you have an IRS problem, hire a Louisiana attorney, Kerry Bryson.
I want to tell you about FantasyPickZ.com. It's a new weekly college football pick'em, free to play with iPad 2s awarded weekly. Gameplay is a blast and gives you another reason to watch football all day. Coming soon, basketball, baseball, and golf, and other things developed by some guys right here in Louisiana. Do check out FantasyPickZ.com. Chris Landry made a comment a few minutes ago that, you know, it ruffles his feathers and it's an insult to players and coaches when you hear the comment, this game doesn't matter. You know, there are team goals. An SEC championship, as Chris said, is just a couple of fractions of an inch below national championship when you hang stuff on the wall. Here's some comments from Coach Miles and his players about team goals throughout the season.
You know, it's a big deal for us. This was one of our goals at the beginning of the season, was to win the West and make it to the SEC championship game. Of course, it didn't really matter to us who was going to be there against us. We weren't going to worry about that. It just so happens that it is Georgia now, and we're going to go out and prepare for Georgia just like we would anybody else.
It means a lot to us. It means a lot to us to have come this far. I mean, we have put so much work into it and trying to become a champion, and it's right here in front of our eyes. All we got to do is just go get it.
I was saying go to film, you know, the camera don't blink. So as always, you can go watch film and find something wrong. And we're in the meeting room or watching extra film, we just, you know, get on each other and say we got to get better in those areas.
It feels so close, but yet, you know, it's so far away. So, you know, we just got to stay focused, you know, stay humble and, you know, just believe in our coaches, you know, the things those guys are telling us, you know, leading up to the games.
It's special, but, you know, I knew we was a special team before the season even started. We kept our focus, you know, just did the things we need to do to get better as a team. Everything's going to be fine. I think the coaches did a great job leading us throughout this season, and as players, it's great to have talent around as much as we do, and it makes it easier out there on the field for us.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling is great. Like I said, you learn not to like to lose. So after all the work that we put in, all the hours, all the things we did off the field with our coaches as a secondary, as a team, is validating, and we're proud that we've done it.
Until the team has finished the season, will I, you know, comment on what I see that they've accomplished or should well have accomplished. So my point is we are so looking forward to playing Georgia. This is what a team, you know, sets its sights for at the beginning of the year. You know, we know we're going to line up and play against the East, and you know, we go through a gauntlet in the West, and we take on all comers. The athletic director has a few mini pops in the beginning and schedules us against Oregon and just a number of guys. And we find a way to, you know, find our way 6 home games and 6 away. And so the opportunity that this season gave us, we've taken advantage of to this point. Now it's one for a championship, just the very next one, and that's certainly our view.
I think it's just the attitude of this team. You know, we've got guys that have been here around here for another year, and it means a little bit more. We've got some guys that only got 2 games left around LSU, myself included, and the closer you get to the end, the more it starts meaning to you, and the harder guys start working. So, you know, we've got this goal in sight, and we've been set on this for months now, and we're going to try not to let anything get in the way of it.
As you said, Chris, winning an SEC championship, you know, is huge for any SEC team, and it's huge for both Georgia and LSU Saturday.
No question about it. I mean, it's what you play for, and you do set goals, and winning the Southeastern Conference, which has been the toughest conference in the country for a number of years now, is a huge goal, and it's certainly is it more important than the national championship? No, I wouldn't say that for a second, but it's a close second.
Here, Chris played the BCS game with you a little bit earlier. Here's some comments from Coach Miles and the players about the idea that it lost to Georgia and they could still be in New Orleans on Monday night, January 9th. Let's get their perspective right here.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can't stop here, and this team knows that. I mean, everybody's here has been saying, like, we want to win it all. I mean, we hear a lot of talk about people, if we happen to lose, like, it's still a chance, but we're not looking to lose at this point. I mean, we didn't came too far.
As right now, we can say we got 1 game, and that's Georgia, and that's, you know, that's going to put us 13-0 if we beat Georgia. That's the only game we can, you know, focus on right now.
Yeah, but it's not really our focus. You know, we're just going to determine ourselves, just go out there, focus, you know, execute our game plan, just come out with a victory. I mean, losing not really on our mind right now.
Yeah. The speculation of what ifs and all of that, you know, it doesn't do us any good. I talked to my team before we played this last game. I said, okay, you guys, you listen to the opinion makers and the sports commentary, and they said generally, no, we're not listening to it either. And it's really the best thing. You know, we've really kind of operated this season in a real fundamental way. We work like heck and prepare. We come to Saturday and we do everything we can for victory. And that being said, I think that's the cleanest, the rightest approach that we have.
I mean, I've heard about it, but as a football player, you don't want to lose a game. So even if we do lose a game and still make it, we're not blowing the SEC championship off by any means.
Well, you know, it's like one of those things, like, as we continue on forward as a team, we really don't worry about what the outside world says. You know, we just keep our focus. And one of the goals that we set at the beginning of the year was to win the SEC championship, also win the West, and also go to the national championship. So you have to take those steps one at a time, and the SEC championship comes first. So,
you know, we definitely don't want to lose this game. You know, we definitely want to be, you know, champions of the SEC. So, you know, that's our goal right now, and you know, whatever happens, you know, after this game, you know, that's what's going to happen. You know, it'll definitely mean that, you know, we're the best team and, you know, pretty much the best conference, you know, in all of college football. You know, I think that's a tremendous honor. You know, we have a great strength coordinator. You know, we have great coaches, and you know, I think a lot of the things that we do, you know, is definitely starting to come together now.
Yeah, I go through some of these issues. That's you know, only to describe it and to deflect it, if you will. Anybody that would say that, I mean, there's a fundamental to this game that we're about to play. We've won the West. You know, that's really an accomplishment. Certainly this year, it's a great accomplishment. There's just quality teams in the Western side. Certainly the Eastern side is the Georgia champion, and a very quality champion that they are. Now we get to play for the conference honors. I promise you, there's not going to be a review of what's next. It's not something that will come out of my mouth with any strength. It'll all be about the very next game that we prepare for, play, and how we would play in that game.
come back, we'll take our weekly run through the LSU athletic department. A couple other things planned for you here on Tigers Roar. It's live every Wednesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. If you're catching us Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a rebroadcast going. And don't forget our good friends at WHNO-TV, WHNO-TV, Channel 20 in New Orleans. 5 to 7 o'clock, they air Tigers Roar, and that crawls into the North Shore, Bayou Country, and Mississippi Gulf Coast. Fridays, 5 to 7 p.m. on WHNO-TV 20 out of New Orleans. We'll be back. Stay with us. Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
The family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr. and our highly trained staff are dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages in all aspects of dental care. 23 years of experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Fruget to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation, because we know how to make you smile.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com has been extremely beneficial for the TM Automotive Group. And what stands out to us, it's easy to use, not only for us, but it's easy for the applicants. And it's the quality of applicants that we get. It's timely. We post something in the morning. By that afternoon, we have double-digit applicants. And again, it's the quality of the applicants.
Employers, now is a great time to hire, recruit, and look for potential new employees.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and great for business.
You're on the same flight.
We'll be on the same plane,
Yeah,
regardless.
when we need to work. Anything together? Do we know that?
Got it.
Thanks, Dave.
The big, brilliant, thin Samsung Infuse 4G. Only from the network of possibilities, AT&T.
Right now on Tigers Roar, it is our pleasure to be joined by Ronnie Rance, Sports Shorts TV, Sports Shorts Radio. Ronnie, how you doing tonight? Movie theater closed?
No movie tonight, Tommy. Just a little dinner. That's it.
Oh, we had a lot of emails wanting to get the movie review with Ronnie Rance, but
Recommend Jack and Jill, by the way. Good movie.
oh, there you go. Okay, Ronnie.
Adam Sandler. At the end. There's a.
He's really doing it.
Al Pacino does the Al Pacino cappuccino Dunkin' Donuts dance. You're a big Al Pacino fan, Tommy. You've seen Godfather and all his films, so you need to check it out.
Ronnie Rance, sit here. No LSU football team has ever been 12-0. Your reaction to LSU being 12-0?
I mean, it's a special time for LSU fans. Obviously, the first time in my lifetime, first time since '58, LSU's going through the regular season undefeated. And I don't think it's a stretch to say this is the best LSU football team ever. And I know that they still have, a couple games to go. And if you go lose the next two, then maybe people may reevaluate that comment. But it's hard to find a deeper team at every position that has played as well as they have. The position that's been criticized the most, the quarterback play, when you look at the actual numbers, has been very good. And that's considered one of the weakest spots on this team.
Ronnie Rance, you'll be in Atlanta working on the Cox Sports as the sideline reporter. What do you expect to see Saturday afternoon in the Georgia Dome?
Well, I expect to see a heck of an effort by Georgia. This is I don't want to call it a trap game for LSU, but you kind of get the feeling it is. I mean, the dome over there is going to be rocking. I think Georgia fans are more fired up about this game than LSU fans. I mean, I've had more people ask me about national championship tickets, national championship hotel reservations. I haven't had anybody ask me about SEC championship, and you just hope that feeling and that mood and that whatever that is not, hasn't spilled over to the team. But I think there's a Georgia team red hot, a very good defense at home, think it's going to be a tough game and a close game for LSU.
Ronnie, tell us about Sports Shorts Radio and Sports Shorts TV.
Now, Sports Shorts Radio every Saturday morning from 10 to noon on 104.5 FM, ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge, myself and Chad Lewin. And it's kind of like a little pregame show during football season. And, of course, we'll be talking a lot about LSU and Georgia. We also talk about Saints as well. And then carry it over, Tommy, to Sports Shorts TV. Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9 on Pelican Broadcasting. Chad and myself and a special guest. Last week we had Justin Vincent, former LSU National Championship running back, was our guest, and you never knew who stopped by. We do know that we'll have Joe Oliva in the coming weeks, the athletic director at LSU, and we're working to get Dale Brown as soon as possible as well.
Ronnie Rance, we appreciate it and enjoy the late movie.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I had to take a few stabs at him there, Chris. He missed an appointment with us because he told me he was in the movie theater a couple of weeks ago, so taking a little stab there. Anyway, our weekly run through the LSU athletic department finds the men's basketball team. Trent Johnson picked up a nice win on the road against the Houston Cougars this week. Anytime you win a college basketball game on the road, it's a good thing. Their next game will be against Rutgers. On the road as well. They're now 4-3. The women's basketball team came out to shoot with a couple of wins, but now they were defeated by Ohio State. They're now 3-3 overall. First-year coach Nikki Caldwell. Their next game will be against Alabama State at the PMAC on December the 11th. A little exam break for you there. The Louisiana Sports Writers Association, this will be our final week to do this. They award college football players from Louisiana with an award each week. And their awards as voted this week on offense, no surprise, Jordan Jefferson had a very good game against Arkansas at quarterback. And then Hunter Lee, a freshman running back for Louisiana Tech. Defensively, no surprise, Tyrann Mathieu from LSU. And special teams, Brett Baer from ULL. He had like a sensational game, punting the football, field goal, an onside kick that he recovered himself, and threw it for a pass on a fake punt for a first down. ULL's punter, Brett Baer. That's your Louisiana Sports Writers Association Players of the Week. We got a nice feature for you we want to run. You got some exposure on the internet about it this week, but Pelican Sports TV crew member Carter Bryant took a look at Ken Ellis, the LSU football team chaplain. Here now is that feature for you.
Despite their success, LSU has had their fair share of off-the-field problems this season. When LSU cornerback Tyrann Mathieu was held from play versus Auburn, he went to LSU team chaplain Ken Ellis for support.
Yeah, he calls me from time to time, and you know, just always gives me some positive feedback. Definitely humbled me, you know, off the field, and definitely humbled me on the field. You know, so you know, it's really about me just trying to be the best teammate I could be. You know, just be the best person I could be at this point.
Meet Minister Ken Ellis, the calming force behind LSU football. As a Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, Ellis feels for the last 15 years he's been able to relate with the athletes.
My experience, you know, not only as an athlete but also as a minister is what they are looking for. And I believe I have some answers for the problems and the situation that they might find themselves in. And so I feel like that's why they come to me.
Ellis has helped many LSU players who have had off-the-field problems this year. But LSU head coach Les Miles wants it to be known that he's had a positive impact on LSU football as a whole.
I think he's not only the pregame chapel, but he's around, and he allows for his time to be available to our players and any special needs that they have in a spiritual fashion.
He just showed me to be a more humble person, because at any given moment it could be taken away from you, so just don't take it for granted.
There is no limits on this team football-wise. There's no limit on them spiritual-wise. And every time they have an opportunity to go out on that field, they realize that they're representing the Lord, and they should do their very best and give him the glory in the process.
I'm Carter Bryant.
Very good work by Carter Bryant and Ken Ellis, and with the effect that has on the LSU football team, certainly a positive one. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on tonight's show. We'll dive some more into some BCS stuff for you, And, of course, Chris Landry will give you the keys of what LSU needs to do to end up with a win on Saturday. And a couple other things. We'll come back and put a wrap on it for you. Chris Landry, NFL scout, Fox Sports football analyst. I'm Tommy Kreis, and you're watching Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans right here on Pelican Sports TV.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
The family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr. and our highly trained staff are dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages in all aspects of dental care. 23 years of experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Fruget to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation, because we know how to make you smile.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com has been extremely beneficial for the TM Automotive Group. And what stands out to us, it's easy to use, not only for us, but it's easy for the applicants. And it's the quality of applicants that we get. It's timely. We post something in the morning. By that afternoon, we have double-digit applicants. And again, it's the quality of the applicants.
Employers, now is a great time to hire, recruit, and look for potential new employees.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and great for business.
You know, on the same flight.
We'll be on the same plane,
Yeah,
regardless.
we're gonna need to work. Anything together? Do we know that?
Got it.
Thanks, Dave.
The big, brilliant, thin Samsung Infuse 4G. Only from the network of possibilities, AT&T.
We continue with Tigers Roar in just a minute or two. Chris Landry will give you his keys for an LSU win on Saturday against Georgia. First up, though, Chris, recruiting a national item or two?
Well, you know, Gunnar Kiel, who is a fine quarterback out of Indiana, that is actually was an Indiana commitment, backed out of that. Had a nice visit, came in recently, was at the Arkansas game, had a good visit. Notre Dame's definitely the team still to beat for him. But I think LSU certainly a contender, and he's a really good quarterback. Of course, remember Blair Kiel. So he's certainly somebody to keep an eye out. Recruiting's gone well.
Is this Blair Kiel's son?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, Landon Collins, of course, everyone is very familiar with. Still an Alabama-LSU situation. I would give LSU an edge there. But recruiting is kind of getting into its final stretches. But they're getting some positive effects of this season and the national exposure. It's having an effect nationally.
National Signing Day, Wednesday, February 1st. Landon Collins is going to announce his decision on January 12th. Do you know why that is?
Yeah, that's the All-Star game.
No, that's his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe All-Star game as well, but January 12th is Landon Collins' birthday, and he has told numerous people that will be the day that he will announce his commitment. Of course, it'll be official on February 1 when he signs the paperwork and gets it on in. So we'll see how that plays. Of course, the Dutchtown product, just outside the greater Baton Rouge area.
He might have a purple and gold and a crimson and white cake there. He may.
Birthday cake. We'll see what color the candles are.
Instead of putting on a hat, he may just dive into the cake.
Chris, we've been doing this all year. Everybody's waiting on the edge of their chair. Chris Landry's keys for an LSU win on Saturday to put that, as you put, very important Southeastern Conference Championship skin on the wall.
There's no complexity here. I think it's controlling Georgia's pass rush, which can be very effective by being patient against Georgia's 30 front, being patient with the running game. There's going to be some opportunities to make some big plays in the passing game. I think you got to be, wise on how you do it, but be patient with the rushing attack. I think they can wear down this Georgia front eventually, and I think there's some big plays to be had. But I think patience with that running game, and then defensively, you got to limit the big plays of Georgia by bringing some aggressiveness versus the pass to generate some big plays, get some turnovers. That's been the big key for LSU defensively all year long. And then I think they need to at least just hold their ground as they have done all year long. Most of the times they've actually won it in the kicking game. Georgia's got some ability with the returns. LSU's got some ability with the returns, but both of these punting units are very good. I think if LSU holds their ground, doesn't lose the turnover margin by -2, I think they win this game. I think they're the better team. Listen, I think if they play, I think this is an LSU win 7, maybe 8 out of 10 times. I really believe that. But this may be the 2 or 3 out of 10 if you don't play your best game. So I think really the focus, do what you do best. When you're the better team, you can control things. And if you do not make the mistakes to allow an inferior team to beat you, that's really important. So I think control with the running game and really bring some pressure to generate some big plays defensively. And I think LSU ends up as the Southeastern Conference champion.
I went to Atlanta in 05 and 07 for the LSU championship games. For those of you that have never been and who may be going, do the fanfare thing. It's a lot of fun. It's family friendly. It's a really cool thing. And the Georgia Dome's a good stadium to watch a game in, even if you have seats in the upper levels and not the best seats in the house. The way that stadium is built, it's fan friendly almost no matter where you're sitting. On that point, I have had a minimum of 6 phone calls and texts with people who have tickets who they're trying to unload. I think what's happening is people that have to pick either Atlanta or New Orleans are saying, I'll go to New Orleans for the championship. Save the money. Some people are going to go to both, but the ones that can make that choice can only go to one. They're doing in New Orleans. Maybe there's no hotel because you can run right down the highway and come back, whatever. So I think getting a ticket for this game is not an issue if you're worried about that. And I know some people heading to Atlanta that don't have tickets.
Real quickly, when they started the Southeastern, when they split and they added Arkansas and South
92.
Carolina, we went to the conference championship games. Almost everybody, including me, thought, well, they've just eliminated, they're going to play their way out of playing in the national championship game now because you've made the conference so difficult. 5 straight national championships in a row, and looks like it's going to be 6 because we're going to have 2 of the Southeastern Conference teams.
Well, obviously, if LSU and Bama are in New Orleans on the night, it'll be 6.
That's what I'm saying. You got 5 in a row, and now a guaranteed 6. So that theory is out the window. So that just goes to show you.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, as we do on Thursdays on the Score 1210 AM, the Score1210.com. where it streams on the internet. It's football with NFL scout and Fox Sports football analyst Chris Landry. Chris, give everyone a hint of what will be on this week's edition of the Chris Landry Show.
We're going to break down all the conference championship matchups, including this one we've talked about, LSU, Georgia, but we're going to get to all of them. We're going to give an update on the coaching carousel around the college game, break down some of the key NFL matchups, particularly the Lions and the Saints. All sorts of good stuff for you. Fun field hour of football talk.
And, of course, the Pelican Sports radio program on that same station, the Score 1210 AM, streaming online at the Score1210.com. It's available at iHeartRadio.com and on your smartphones. 3 to 4 o'clock Monday through Fridays. We take phone calls on that program, emails. A lot of people like to email in a question that maybe don't want to phone in for whatever the reason. All that good stuff. Pelican Sports Radio, we like to mix it up. And, of course, 2 more days this week to get you ready, set, go for the LSU-Georgia matchup. And it's not just an LSU thing. We talk all sports and national stories, Louisiana stuff, and we have a lot of fun with Pelican Sports Radio. Hopefully you'll tell your friends about that as well. And don't forget, immediately following the LSU-Georgia game on Saturday, it's the WJBO, Pelican Sports TV, Phones First post-game show. Your phone calls, that's what we're going to get right into. As soon as that game is over, we'll have stats, we'll have a player, offensive player of the game, we'll have an injury report. We will have all of that for you in that thing. We'll have the offensive player of the game, as I said, the stats, all that good stuff in the scoreboard update as well in the Phones First WJBO Pelican Sports TV post-game show. And, of course, go friend us on Facebook. The Facebook page is a great way to keep up with all of that. Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is @Pelican Sports. And, of course, we got a YouTube page, that special feature by Carter Bryant. It'll be up on the YouTube page, as well as many other things we've done through the course of the year. Because Tigers Roar, it's here 52 weeks a year. year-round, live on a Wednesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a replay going. We appreciate all the partnerships we have with the replays. And, in fact, New Orleans, WHNO TV Channel 20, 5 to 7 on a Friday, takes care of the North Shore, Bayou Country, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast. NFL scout, Fox Sports football analyst Chris Landry, we thank you for tuning in. Spread the roar. The entire crew at Pelican Sports TV says tomorrow's December and happy holidays to you. I'm Tommy Christ, and we'll talk to you again real soon.